All right, so the Padres they lose to the Mets in Game 1 of this series, obviously 8-3. Dylan Cease he was getting hit pretty hard early in this game, especially the first run that the Mets scored. Mark Vientos smacked that ball down the line, made it 1-0. Then there were some things that wasn't really on Dylan Cease, like a pass ball in Luis Camposano, and then he got a ground ball. It was a good play by Mason McCoy, and McNeil barely beats it out to make it 3-0. But, the offense, they had their opportunities. Really, the big one for me was bases loaded, and Crony grounded into the double play. Scored a run, but bases loaded, nobody out. You have Severino on it like that. That sucks to not be able to get more than one run in that situation. And really, if you think about it, that set up the Padres going to Logan Gillespie, because if the Padres would have come through with more than one run there, maybe Mike Schilt goes with another reliever. I didn't have the bullpen chart out today, but I can tell you that yesterday the following guys didn't pitch. Now Suarez wasn't going to pitch in that situation, so I'm not including him. But I don't think Tanner Scott would have either. But he could have been available. Jason Adam, Yuki Matsui could have gone with those guys. Adrian Morejon threw 12 pitches yesterday. Not very much. He could go back-to-back days. So those guys could have been put out there in a 2-run deficit. The Padres have been able to overcome a 2-run deficit. Now, if, let's say, someone comes in, they didn't do what Logan Gillespie did, and not all of it is Gillespie's fault. Like, he got some balls that weren't hit hard. They just found holes. But still, results are results. And it wasn't great. He gave it, 7 hits in this outing for him? So yeah, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, just 1 strikeout. He threw almost 30 pitches. And so let's say someone comes in from the bullpen and they can get a clean inning and it's a 2-run game. You have to face Edwin Diaz. That's a tough task, but the Padres, they've still been able to come back late in games. They've been able to come back in their last half inning, their last chance. So I think I would have liked to have seen someone other than Logan Gillespie, the last reliever in the bullpen, in a 2-run game like that. But I'm sure Schilt will have some thoughts on that post game here. But to get to the main thing that I wanted to hit on tonight, Tatis, Waldron, there's some news there, as you see in a couple of screenshots there from Kevin Acee in the UT. I want to start with the Fernando update. Fernando Tatis Jr. did sprints in the outfield and played a game of catch from 120 feet on Thursday afternoon. He'll hit on the field against live pitching in the next 2 days. Schilt said he is definitely progressing to come back to play. The timetable, Kevin writes, discussed internally for several weeks has been a September return, which is what I figured. He wasn't going to come back in August. That was contingent on continued healing, and team officials have declined to provide specifics regarding Tatis' progress. And Tatis said the other day, I'll be back soon. And the question obviously was, what is soon? And if this is going to be a similar ramp up to Bogarts, then yeah, it's going to be a September return. It's going to be first half of September, hopefully. And this is the most encouraging update that we've gotten about Fernando, that because he did sprints in the outfield. It was 70% is what I believe Schilt said today before the game. But that's not something that Tatis was doing before today, at least to my knowledge. So he is the trainers, whoever has evaluated Tatis, he's looked good enough to them for him to be able to start sprinting. Not 100, but 70%, and then hopefully they build up there, and he'll be able to come back beginning of September, get those at-bats, help this team win, and then get into the postseason and be ready to go, be fresh. Let's remember, though, he's not going to be 100%. Like, it's not going to be 100% healed, just like Xander Bogaerts. That's the same thing there. It was not going to be 100% this year. I believe Manny said earlier this year that his elbow not going to be 100% this year either, and he's bounced back, and he's been one of the Padres' best hitters definitely since the All-Star break. So Tatis, he can still be impactful. Bogarts has been impactful, not 100%. Like, they can still be impactful, especially Fernando. We know the talent that he has. I mean, let's remember in 2021, he led the National League in home runs, and he was playing with one arm, essentially, with the subluxations and all that. So he's a freak of an athlete. What a talent. I'm happy that he's a Padre. And just hopefully he's going to be able to come back and provide a good impact to this Padres team, because I don't want to have those what ifs continue about, oh, what if they don't have Fernando? This would be, by the way, if the Padres make the postseason and Fernando is healthy, maybe some don't realize this, but this would be Fernando's first postseason with the Padres, like actual full season and then a postseason. I don't even, he didn't play the full season, but 2020, the only time that he was with the Padres in the postseason, healthy on the Padres in the postseason, that was an important season. So it's going to be interesting to see. This will be, well, technically a second wild card series because it was a wild card series in 2020. But again, like first actual postseason, not a shortened season, postseason. There's going to be fans in the stands, so I'm hoping, I'm crossing my fingers that Tatis will be healthy and good to go come postseason time. By the way, tonight, yeah, it's a bummer. They've lost back-to-back games, but this is the first time that they've lost back-to-back games since July 19th. It was July 14th and the 19th, so the last game before the All-Star break, the first game after the All-Star break, and then the Padres went on to go win 19 of 22 in that stretch after that. So this team, like, it's a reminder, the team is still playing good baseball. Obviously, let's remember, the whole Gillespie thing tonight, it sucked. It was a 2-run game, and the Padres had their opportunities earlier in the game to not have it be a 2-run deficit and maybe be a tie game, something like that. But Joe's on the mound tomorrow, so hopefully he can dominate the Mets because he has a pretty good history against the Mets. His last outing against the Mets, I think, was last year. He pitched really well then. We know what he did in the wild card series, and some of those same players are on that Mets team. Matt Waldron, the second thing that I wanted to get to today, he was optioned to AAA. Yes, I am surprised that he was optioned. Some fans may not be. Some fans wanted him to go down to AAA, just reading the chat from last night's show. So you guys are happy. I'm surprised because I thought that Niebla was going to work with Waldron at the big league level for a little bit. I wasn't thinking that they were going to go to Randy Vasquez or Omar Cruz, which is what it seems like they're going to do on Monday because they can't call Waldron up, for that start. So they called Gillespie up today, Waldron down. But it does make sense for him to go down. If you watched his post-game comments on, I believe, Marty Caswell's YouTube yesterday, to me, it seemed like that was someone that didn't have a lot of confidence in himself right now. And that's someone that is searching. And he admitted, like, yeah, it's going to take a lot of work to get back to where he was. And he didn't know. It didn't seem like, at least, he didn't know what he was going to have to do. Was it going to be relying on that knuckleball more? I think he was talking about his arm slot being a little bit lower than what it was previously. So is that him getting tired? He did mention something about his elbow as well. But it felt like to me like it wasn't something where he should go on the IL. It's just something that he's got to get over that hump, got to deal with it. This is his first, he's still a rookie, his first full big league season as a starting pitcher in the majors. So it's just some adjustments that have to take place here, which is expected. And so I kind of bring up like the whole innings thing with King and Waldron. I think that was a focus because those two guys transitioning to starter full time, especially King, because Waldron, he's a starter, but again, big league level, it's just different. And maybe the Padres went into this season not expecting Waldron to pitch as many innings as he has already pitched because of how well he was pitching and then some of the injuries. Waldron obviously was going to be in that rotation for a longer period of time, and he deserved it. Like, I want to give him props for what he gave to the Padres, the innings, and not just the innings, but the quality innings that he gave to the Padres earlier this season. So with King, I don't want to hear about the innings because I'm not hearing him like not confident in what he's doing, and he's pitching well, obviously. With Matt Waldron, to me, it seems like he's lacking a little bit of confidence, and he's mentioning his elbow. That's not good. Doesn't seem like he totally knows what he needs to do to get back to being what he was earlier this season. So he's searching. And if you're going to be searching on August 22nd and you're struggling results wise at the big league level, and this is your first full big league season, and this team's trying to go make the postseason, get themselves in the best spot, come the end of this regular season here, then the best place for you is probably AAA. And so that's what the Padres did. I'm totally fine with it. I'm just a little bit surprised. I thought that maybe they were going to give him a little bit more time, a little bit, but they're probably going to go with Randy Vasquez for Monday. Brito, I believe, just went on the IL, so that's not great. But we know Vasquez, he is someone that has been able to, at times, keep the Padres in games, so that's definitely what I am hoping for. And yeah, so those are my thoughts on that. Kevin Acee, I can read to you from Kevin Acee. Waldron, option AAA El Paso on Wednesday. Right-hander was rocked for 10 runs in a loss to the Twins on Wednesday. His ERA is 10.50 over his past 5 starts. It's expected the Padres will recall Randy Vasquez or left-hander Omar Cruz for that start. Kevin writes here, the move with Waldron is likely for a combination of rest and retooling. The rest thing, okay, because, again, like he mentioned the elbow, but if you're retooling and it is August 22nd, like how much do they want to rest him? Maybe a couple times, maybe a week and a half. But if he's trying to retool, it's kind of hard to retool as a pitcher if you're not throwing. So maybe it's resting, like he's not going to go high intensity, but I'd kind of be surprised if they just not have him throw bullpens at least with El Paso. Have some videos, send it to Ruben, have Ruben give some input back, little things like that. Waldron here said, physically, I think I'm capable of getting there. I think my stuff definitely has to sharpen up and maybe even rely more on the knuckleball. I've got to go to the drawing board. It's going to take some serious work. And so the Padres, they probably don't want him working on that in-game action while they're trying to win every game possible at this point in time. So I'm fine with it. We'll see what happens with that 5th spot going forward.